This is a brief introduction to the use of the UWM Web Events Calendar. For starters, I recommend that you bookmark the site because it's a very long and cumbersome URL and it'll be tough to remember, so some sort of bookmark would be a good idea. When you select that bookmark, you will come to a login page. You just use your UWM Panther ID, that's your email address and password. Right now we're going to use an author. There are three classes of users. There are authors, administrators, and publishers. For starters, you'll be an author, so that if you have trouble and maybe make some mistakes, I'll be able to correct them before they go live. I think in a little while we'll be granting publishing status to everyone so they can get their events out as efficiently and quickly as possible. Upon login, you will be greeted with the screen that gives you two simple options: to log out and to select events. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be adding an event. Some of you will see events and announcements if you've been authorized to add announcements, but most of us will just have events. When you click on events, you'll see the events administration page, and that gives you a couple of things. One is a search capability. Because we have so many common sponsorships, it's good to have the ability to search. In this case, you want to search so you can see if someone's already beaten you to the punch. Sometimes a co-sponsor will add something to the events calendar, and it won't do to have it in twice. So you can do a search on that. If there's no search term in there, you'll see all the events that have been entered. In this case, there are 280 so far. But what we're really about is adding events. So that's what we'll do. We'll click on that, and you will see that you can choose from 7 categories of events. Probably most of us will have lectures and or arts and music and things of that nature. Here are the subcategories for arts, and this is the lectures, speeches, and seminars. That's what we're doing. We're going to add a lecture here. And we've made our selection, so we continue. At this point, you'll be adding the details for the event. We need 3 primary pieces of information: a title, the location of the event. In this case, it will be on campus, and we'll put it in Union E240, let's say. And we need to say whether or not there's an admission fee. You notice that I hit return, and it thought I was trying to complete the transaction here, and it gave me an error because I didn't put in that last term. There is no admission charge to this event. You'll notice that it defaults to yes, and so it was looking for the charge itself, how much that would be. But in our case, it's no, so we'll just mark that in. Now we have a few optional items. We can add an image. I would say keep that image to less than 300 pixels high and less than 300 pixels wide. When an event is entered in the calendar, it typically shows up as a title, which can be clicked, it's a link, and a summary. So the summary should be just a brief 1-sentence description of the event, so that generally the title isn't sufficient. So we add a little more information. If someone clicks on that link, they will see a more complete description, and that comes under event details. The system will generally underline items that it doesn't words that it doesn't recognize. That's sort of a live spell check. Add contact information. At least a phone number, I would say. You can add an email address. That's generally a good idea. This will not be a link unless you add a little HTML code. Let's start from the top. There, I've entered the link, the place that the link will take the user to. This information right here is actually what will appear. Could be my name, could be anything. It doesn't have to be the email address itself because that's contained right in here. So, we've added our details, so we'll save that portion of our event. Two more steps. One is to add a date. This takes the form of month slash day slash year. That is 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 4 digits for the year. Also, we'll add time information. Notice that we don't type 00 AM, but rather 0 AM. That's the UWM style. So we have our details, we have the time of the event, and now all we need to do is tell the system to whom it should show these events. In this case, we're going to select all possible audience members. In principle, we can determine which subset of users will see the events. Now you'll notice here that the event's status is inactive and the approval for the event is pending. You will be able to activate the event by clicking Save. You see it's now active. However, a publisher or administrator has to actually approve this item so it appears on the website. But your job is done at this point. So, it's all been saved. You've put everything in. Let's check that again. And we'll log out. Now, we'll look for an administrator to approve it. You'll notice here the administrator has a number of options besides events, and as I mentioned, some of you will see announcements as well. Now you'll see an example of the search function. I'm going to look for calendar, and it will show me that single item that was entered. And notice that it's pending. So the publisher will approve it. And log out. And now if we go to the news page and select campus events, you'll see in fact, we can just do a search on it here. Here's the events calendar. So here's the events summary, and when we click on the link, we see the event details. And that covers it. So now we see how it's been done. You should be able to view this a couple times, maybe keep it running while you actually log in and run through this, and you'll find that you can do it pretty simply and very quickly. You'll learn how to do it. Obviously, if you have any questions, you can call me, Greg Walz-Chojnacki. Here's my phone number, 4454, and my email address is gwc. So I hope this is useful to you. I hope you're able to contribute frequently and regularly to the calendar. Please let me know if you have any trouble. Thanks a lot for your time.